It is 6:21 now, and winter. Everyone thinks about the cold, crisp days, fun seasonal activities, and oftentimes snowy nights spent by a warm fire. But not all elements of winter are so enjoyable. In today's Health and Beauty Breakdowns with Dr. Ronald Downs, we are tackling a topic that so many of you have asked for: how to guard against dry, itchy skin this time of year. It's nasty out there, and it can be splits at the corners of your fingernails. It can be dry, chapping arms and legs.
It really affects us all over our bodies because we're in the dry, warm inside air, and if we go outside, it's a dry, cold, harsh environment out there, so we're exposed to this dry skin all the time.
But there are things we could do, some subtle changes to just your daily routines that could help prevent this.
We should start with our morning regimen. For instance, there's nothing better than getting up in the morning and taking a nice hot shower.
Sure.
And that feels great, but unfortunately, the hotter that water temperature is, the more it's going to dry out our skin. So one of the tips we can do is really just shorten the length of the shower a little bit and bring the degrees down a little bit. That'll really help knock out some of that, or keep you from getting rid of some of that moisture that naturally is in your skin. And that goes for hand washing, too. Now,
so many of us are washing our hands these days to keep down on the viruses and flu outbreak and things like that.
It is, and that's why it's so important to moisturize. Because the next thing we want to make sure we do, and the word we want to keep in our vocabulary is moisturization. That is so important. We've talked about this before. The best time to moisturize is right after you get out of that hot shower or right after you wash your hands. And since we're washing our hands several times throughout the day, you want to moisturize a couple times throughout the day as well. And also when you get out of the shower, don't rub your skin. Just pat it dry.
See, I didn't even think of that, but if you rub it, you're just pulling off more skin and also the essential oils.
Exactly, and those oils you need to protect your skin throughout the day. And when you're looking for moisturizers, a couple things to keep in mind. Non-clogging oils. There are some oils in there in cheap moisturizers that will just clog your skin up. Non-moisturizing oils such as almond oil, primrose oil, mineral oil, avocado oil, these are all good non-clogging healthy oils for your skin. And also the other word I'd like you to remember is humectant. Now that's not always easy to say, but what a humectant is a substance in the moisturizer that will actually draw moisture into your skin. Things like glycerin, sorbitol, and alpha hydroxys are great humectants.
Okay, is that going to be on a label somewhere?
It'll be on the label if you read the back of the moisturizing bottle. Humectant. Starts with an H.
All right.
Just remember it. Sunscreen. Now, you know, we may not see a lot of sun, but believe it or not, through our permacloud, the sun gets through.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, in the wintertime, it can be even heightened because there's snow cover, and that reflects the sun. So actually, in the wintertime, sunscreen becomes more important. So I tell my patients, please look for a moisturizer that contains a sunscreen. That's the easiest way to do it. And try to make it an SPF of greater than 25.
And that goes for chapstick, too. They make sunscreens in chapstick, and that can be helpful.
Because lips will dry out, and anything where mucous membranes are exposed, they will dry out even faster. We like to overdress in the winter. It gets very cold.
Especially
so we're all bundled up with the big pillow coats, and we're out there.
14 layers of clothes.
Yeah. But, you know, a lot of times we overdo it, and we sweat. And we overheat, and that is actually terrible for our skin. It dries it out. So and I've heard you say it many times, but you want to dress in layers.
Yeah.
And when we go outside, it's very important to do that. But make sure that layer next to your skin is a very soft, absorbent layer instead of something scratchy and itchy that'll be irritating like wool.
Yeah, and the last thing that you want to talk about is just cover up.
You can't over-accentuate that.
Right.
We're actually in the wintertime, if we like outdoor activities, we're out longer, doing cross-country skiing, sledding, whatever. So our skin is exposed to those harsh winter environments for a lot longer of a time. So it's important to wear gloves, masks, those types of things. Really cover up.
All right. Well, Dr. Downs will have more great winter skin tips next Friday. If you have ideas for future topics that you'd like to see on Health and Beauty Breakdowns, just go to 16 Morning News webpage and click on the Health and Beauty Breakdowns button. We're going to put this interview there, so if you want to write down more information about those things to look for in the products, check it all out on the web.
Humectant.
Humectant.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Downs. It is.